Welcome back. This week we have the CEO of the HBAR Foundation on again to discuss the big name. The Mingo CEO to discuss his app and a heavy-hitting partner, some mainstream media coverage, and much more. This one's definitely worth sticking around for. Last month it was mentioned that we might get a big name doing something on Hedera, and this week we got it. A.R Rahman is creating a platform to allow independent artists to issue songs as NFTs, and of course it's built on Hedera. Having nearly 24 million Twitter followers, more than Ryan Reynolds or The Rock, I'd say AR certainly qualifies as a big name. Here to give us some more information, we have back Shayne, the CEO of the HBAR Foundation. Welcome back, Shayne.
Great. Thanks a lot, Brandon. Really glad to be here.
Good stuff. For those that might not know, who is A.R Rahman, and can you add some color to this week's announcement?
Yeah, sure. So there's a couple of things. Certainly, I'll speak about A.R Rahman, and I'll speak about India more broadly. A.R Rahman, is just a household name, particularly in India, but he's sold over 200 million albums worldwide. He's composed soundtracks for over 100 films, some of which the West, might know: Slumdog Millionaire, 127 Hours, and a whole host of films in Bollywood. The telco in India, Airtel, their signature tune has been composed by him and it's the most downloaded ringtone with over 150 million downloads. He is, as the press release had talked about, he's won a couple of Oscars, he's won a couple of Grammys, he's won a Golden Globe, several BAFTA awards, and many other MTV awards, etc. So very big name in the music industry and globally. And so with that being said, we feel like with his social media following of over 50 million social media followers, 24 million of which are on Twitter, this was a great opportunity for us to raise the awareness and visibility of Hedera. And if you recall some of the things I've mentioned in the past, our mission is to incentivize and enable communities, digitally native communities, to rise up and to be able to fund them effectively to, creators, entrepreneurs, builders, dreamers. And that's what he is. He's a creator. He's a builder. And his vision for this is incredible. And we're glad to be a part of it.
Well, Shayne, I know you're pretty busy. I'll let you go, but thank you so much for coming by and letting us know what was going on.
You're welcome. And one other thing I would mention is that, from an Indian perspective, part of the delay here was India regulation. So many of you may or may not know and keep track of India regulation, but in March of 2020, prior to March of 2020, India had banned all cryptocurrency transactions. The Supreme Court then came in March of 2020 and said, no, we're going to allow those transactions. There was legislation being prepared in India towards the end of this last year that gave us pause, and we just wanted to make sure that we did it right. And so I appreciate everyone's patience. I know there was a lot of froth around the announcement, but there was reasons for it, and we're excited about moving forward. So thanks for everyone's support, and thanks for this time, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely. I, for one, would rather have it done right than fast. So I appreciate you taking the time.
Great. Thanks so much, man. Have a great one.
All right. Talk to you later.
See ya.
We talked about our interview with Mingo last week. Mingo is trying to bring crypto to the masses by integrating their wallet behind what most understand and use every day, a messaging app. And this isn't pie in the sky. This stuff is built and launching currently. Here's the interview. As we discussed last week, today we have the CEO of Mingo, Joe Arthur. Thanks for joining us today, Joe.
Brandon, great to be with you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
So we're pretty fast moving around here. We're going to jump right into it. There are a lot of messaging apps, and the NFT space is getting busier all the time. What makes Mingo different?
I suppose the key point here is that we're not out to compete with the existing messaging apps. Our goal is more so to simplify the messaging process for everyone by offering an integration of message and chat apps into one single place under one single feed. And that's the key. It's to simplify the process for the users. And in the same way as to introduce NFTs to the wider market through a chat app is a different approach. They can integrate our wallet and the chat app together and see and view and share NFTs as a result of using the wallet.
Okay, understood. We've seen that you're working with heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. Is this something that Hederians should be excited about?
For what we planned over the next 12 months, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. We're very lucky to be working with Tyson. He is an absolute true gentleman in every sense, but he's also the heavyweight world champion. You don't get much more heavy hitting in any way, shall we use the pun, than this. And for us to be working with him, we're really excited. But he's very, very excited about what we have to offer as well. He's relatively new to the crypto, but he was the first boxer to bring out an NFT last year. And the plans we have for him, and we launch a collectible NFT collection with him later this month, with more details to follow. And all of that will run through the wallet. This is the thing that is exciting him. It's allowing his fan base get access to NFTs in a simpler way than before. They can come in and integrate with our wallet, take a credit card and buy the NFT in the chat app, in the wallet. That's what's exciting them so much, because as we spoke about earlier, most people in the space are speculators right now. How do we get the average person in? And it's through someone like Tyson, who can bring his fan base into the space to get their hands on collections and collectibles with him. And that's what we're looking at.
It sounds like a one-stop shop.
Yeah, why not? Like at the end of the day, the wallet is the messaging app carries it into the person's hands. They're used to using messaging apps every day. The wallet is integrated behind the scenes, and it's also in the forefront as well for the crypto-friendly people. They can see the wallet, they can use it like any wallet. But for the less crypto-friendly people, it will ride behind the chat app, and you can do most of the functionalities in the chat app.
So obviously you're built on Hedera. What drew you to Hedera?
What didn't draw us to Hedera? Like, we did a lot of research and our team behind it, and we've been involved with Hedera for 4 years. Ken Anderson, who was the chief developer advocate for Hedera, started this project with me many years ago, 5-6 years ago now at this stage. And as a result of that, we found Hedera. And what drew us to us was several things. One, if we were going to introduce the average person to cryptocurrency through a chat app, it has to be extremely fast. Hedera. It has to be very fair. Hedera. It has to have real low transaction fees. Hedera. And the final thing is, it has to be secure. People have to feel if they're sending anything on a chat app, it has to be secure. Hedera. Now, you can give me some other platform that delivered on all of those. We couldn't find it, and we still don't know of anyone out there that can deliver what Hedera offer.
Yeah, that's something that there are competitors out there that might be able to compete on one of those things, but to be top in class across all of those aspects is really tough, and Hedera has done it.
And being honest, what I love about Hedera is they're not out there saying, oh, waving the flag, look at us, we're the best, we're the best. They're just out there delivering. You've loads of others going out singing that they're the best, but they're not delivering. And that's what I really like about the way these guys go about their business. It's all nice and quietly, and they just deliver.
Sure. Well, we have the same appreciation. So you also have a Mingo coin. What's the ticker, and how can people get involved?
Okay, so we have a token sale that will be live by the time you put out this message. So
I'll make sure to get that information out.
Thank you. People will be able to download our app directly from our website, mingoapps.com. Download the apps there, and they'll be able to purchase Mingo with Bitcoin directly from the app. And the ticker is Mingo, M-I-N-G-O, and
Perfect.
running on the Hedera system.
Okay, that works. So, Joe, again, we do this pretty quick. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us, and please come back as you reach milestones while executing your vision for Mingo.
Excellent, Brandon. Thanks for your time. And we'd love to give you more details as we roll this out over the coming 12 months.
Yahoo Finance did an interview with Mark Lepresky, founder of Lepresky Law Group, crypto investor and advisor. He showed a balanced approach when answering questions on regulation, DAOs, ETFs, and crypto trends. He made a point we've been pushing for some time with the following quote: "Historically speaking, where Bitcoin's fortunes went was the fortunes of the rest of the crypto world. You saw that start to change really at the end of the second quarter and through the third and fourth quarter of 2021. We believe that's a trend that's going to continue as you have additional institutional adoption of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as the use cases, again going back to that DeFi Web 3.0 story we touched on a minute ago, of other top cryptos like Solana, Polkadot, Cardano, Avalanche, and Hedera, as their use case becomes more of the story for their value. I completely agree that utility will take a far larger role in determining a cryptocurrency's value. He goes on to say, and some of the coins I just mentioned are some of the ones that we're watching really, really carefully. Besides him mentioning what we've been pounding the table about utility, the other thing that struck me was the relative market cap of the coins mentioned. Of course, Bitcoin's market cap is number 1, Solana is number 5, Cardano 7, Polkadot 9, Avalanche is number 11, and HBAR is 35th. Gives a little hint as to what might be considered undervalued. Either way, it's good to see continued mainstream coverage. Thanks to some digging by Hedera and HBAR Bro, we found out that next to SKUX and Mingo HTS tokens, InvestaX also has HTS tokens. It seems like InvestaX is joining Toko in trying to create securitized assets. Here's some more information about what they're doing.
InvestaX, bringing you a new world of tokenized investments. We live in a digital era where accessibility is the driver of success. In 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto launched Bitcoin, a new peer-to-peer electronic cash system that brought a new paradigm to the concept and our belief structures of money. Underpinning Bitcoin was blockchain technology, a decentralized distributed ledger technology that records and tracks the provenance of a digital asset. It changed the game. What Bitcoin did to the monetary currency is what InvestaX is doing for private market investments. InvestaX is a licensed investment and trading platform that uses blockchain technology to tokenize illiquid assets into easily tradable tokens called digital securities or security tokens. Despite being 4.5 times larger in size than public markets, private market opportunities such as private equity, real estate and venture have had little to no innovation and still remain inaccessible to most investors. Transactions are slow, non-transparent, and investments are illiquid, meaning they're hard to buy and sell. At InvestaX, our mission is to bridge centralized finance and decentralized finance to provide access to tokenized real assets as easily as buying stocks or cryptocurrencies, creating a huge explosion of value. InvestaX is pioneering how investors access digital assets by providing access to new technology-driven investment products, using blockchain infrastructure to enable secondary market trading, and automating processes for transparency and efficiency. Invest and trade instantly in digital assets such as private equity, real estate, venture capital, blockchain companies, fractionalized NFTs, and more. We have built key infrastructure to digitize private assets so you can buy, sell, trade, borrow, or lend instantly across the world, 24/7. The opportunities are infinite. The groundwork is laid. Join the evolution.
It doesn't seem like these guys are just getting off the ground either. They feature nearly 24 debt and equity offerings that look like they're in the works on their website. They also highlight some impressive partners, including Seba Bank, who was featured by CoinDesk for tokenizing gold. We'll try to get a representative from InvestaX on to give us a full breakdown. Neuron, a drone tracking company built on Hedera that we highlighted over the summer, partnered with the UK government to demonstrate the capability to safely track the movements of military, enterprise, and government drones once out of visual line of sight, and have announced a successful trial earlier this year. Niall Greenwood of Neuron said, "Until now, drones have had limited benefit for governments and private enterprises because they could not be flown safely out of line of sight, and therefore could not be used for long-distance deliveries, transport, or inspections. With this trial leveraging Hedera Consensus Service, we have made unmanned, long-distance drone travel possible using safety-critical aviation infrastructure. Each flight creates millions of data points, which no other public ledger has been fast enough to log and correctly order. By leveraging Hedera Consensus Service, we can gather, store, and order this data immediately, giving us real-time radar system for drones." In the clip this summer, it was explained that this has the potential to be a multi-billion-dollar market, and with each flight logging data every second, Neuron could have a huge impact on the Hedera network as well. The Fed rained on our parade this week by taking a more hawkish tone in their minutes, meaning a tighter monetary policy. They are rapidly reducing their quantitative easing program and are projecting a more rapid increase in interest rates than they were previously. Both of these can result in less liquidity, and as rates increase, bonds become more attractive, putting pressure on risk assets like stocks and, of course, cryptocurrency. Inflation will have to stay elevated and remain their top concern for the Fed to maintain this stance. High inflation may not bode well for businesses and in turn stocks, but I would expect crypto to fare a little better in a persistent high inflation environment. But this doesn't change the fact that a hawkish Fed is no friend to crypto. As expected, the crypto market, including HBAR, was hit fairly hard by this news, and at the time of recording, HBAR is down about 7% from last week. I could say that we're stabilizing at what seems like support at 27 cents, that there's another zone of support at around 24 cents, and if we recover, to expect resistance at 30 and 35 cents. But with Bitcoin trading in a key zone, absent a Hedera-specific catalyst, which is always possible, HBAR's short-term fortunes are really dependent on if Bitcoin decides to break above and hold about 42,000 or if it drops below 39,000. I like some of Tom Crown's recent HBAR technical analysis. He zoomed out a bit, which allows us to see a couple things. First, the first few months of the new year have been explosive for HBAR in the past. In 2020, we saw HBAR start the year at its all-time low of about a cent, and it rocketed to 8 cents before falling back and consolidating the rest of the year at about 3 to 4 cents. In 2021, we started at 3 cents and spiked early on and spent the rest of the year, give or take, an order of magnitude higher than it started on January 1st. It would certainly be nice to see that trend repeat. The second thing is the massive bull flags that are clear when you zoom out. Obviously, this is a function of the spikes and consolidations mentioned, but it sure makes for a pretty chart. That said, we have some macro and crypto-specific headwinds and a healthy dose of uncertainty. But with the network utility we get to present here week in and week out, I'm very confident in the value proposition for the HBAR. Dovu, partially owned by Jaguar Land Rover, is a tokenized data economy for DeFi carbon offsetting. Landowners who have implemented carbon sequestration practices can tokenize their land and make it easy for businesses and individuals to offset their carbon footprint through its decentralized marketplace. It connects landowners who have committed to carbon sequestering practices and investors or businesses who want to offset their carbon footprint. And of course, they're building on Hedera. We're hoping to have a Dovu representative on next week, so let me know if you're curious about anything. Here's a quick promotional video.
Industry leaders are coming together at COP26 to tackle climate change. But right now, the carbon market lacks clear carbon removal accounting standards around key criteria such as additionality, durability, and leakage. Dovu is building an audit trail for carbon offsetting that takes advantage of the unique traits blockchain technology can deliver, empowering farmers the world over to capture carbon through restoring degraded soils using regenerative conservation practices, meaning better soil, better water retention, better crop yields. Let's work together to achieve a carbon negative goal. Contact Dovu today.
Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you appreciate the content. Also, hit the notification bell if you want to know when next week's video drops.